Hello. For this video, I'll give an overview of homework 4. There are several different steps. The first is compiling the program, like so. For running the tests are actually included as part of this assignment. So to run them, you simply need to compile and then run the executable. Now for debugging the tests have descriptive error messages. So whenever a test fails, you'll know what method was being tested and a little description on what the test was trying to do. So in this case, our method returned an empty string, but we had expected an open bracket, close bracket. I'll get more in depth on this later, but the goal is you would see the error, modify your code, save, recompile, rerun, and hopefully not have this error anymore. For the assignment itself, we will be manipulating a vector. So first, you'll be writing a method that will take this vector of numbers and generate some formatted string that shows each element and the index that each element is in. And I'll show more on that later. Then we'll write several methods for manipulating the vector. One is inserting numbers by index, and the rules for out of bounds or other edge cases will be described in the code, the descriptions of the functions in the code. Same for deleting numbers by index. There's some methods for computing some statistics on the numbers vector. So the sum of the numbers in the vector or the average of the numbers in the vector. There are also some sorting and removing functions. So sorting the numbers by default ascending, and then also sorting descending. And then a method for sorting the numbers ascending and removing any duplicate values that we find. And last but not least, a method to take any instances of a number from numbers to remove in numbers and removing them. And I'll describe that more in detail later. So here's the homework assignment. A previous video I uploaded would show how to clone this to your machine. So for this, I'm going to run C++ to compile this file. And then I'm going to run the executable. As you see, I've already written the solution for format numbers, and the test passed for each of those test cases. But when testing the insert numbers by index, I came across a failure. So I would have to implement that code, recompile, run again. So now over this file itself, we have some test methods that should probably leave alone. We have the methods that you're going to implement, and we have a main which calls all of our test methods. The code that you need to modify are each of these methods here. They each have a description describing exactly what we expect this function, the behavior of this function to be. Now, for the test cases themselves, a lot of test code is at the bottom of the file. And let's say here, insert numbers by index, empty vector. I would not recommend modifying these test cases at all. But you can see insert numbers by index, empty vector. We failed this test case. So when calling our method with these arguments, we did not get what was expected. So that's homework 4. And that's the process of using test driven development to do your assignment.